Mr. Nabil, for sharing your insightful experience in your institution. So now if I can invite Mr. Hasan to please share his insights on the key challenges, opportunities, and growth prospects of Islamic finance in the Mediterranean region. And also based on your experience in CIBAFI Ventures, as all our participants, they are talking about the fintech, the importance of fintech and innovation. So what do you think about the possible role of fintech in the future growth of the Islamic finance industry in Turkey, and also on a larger picture, which we talk about Mediterranean region? Yes, please.
Thank you, Dr. Bilal. Thank you so much for the other panel speakers. I would like to convey our warm greetings and love from magnificent Istanbul to all stakeholders participating in this valuable organization. And I hope, as Mr. Nabil said, I hope you are all in good position in health while we are living the COVID-19 pandemics. And also I would like to thank the CIBAFI, the Association Chambers of Commerce and Industry of the Mediterranean, and the Barcelona Chambers of Commerce, and a special thanks to technical team. I would like to thank because of their efforts, we are now here. When we come to your question, before your question, I would like to clarify. CIBAFI Ventures is a subsidiary of Albaraka Türk, which is, you already know, Albaraka Türk is another subsidiary of Albaraka Banking Group. So we are basically located in Istanbul, but we have our products and services in also Europe, in Mediterranean. We will be later on in Mediterranean area, in Italy, in Spain, in 2022. We believe that the COVID-19 pandemic has forced people to access financial services. We were confined to home and couldn't access the bank branches, financial services points. We could even do not pay the bills because many of them were locked in the houses. So while this pandemic has reduced our access to financial services, which is the main source of economical developments, as many of the panel speakers mentioned. The innovation is the key access for accelerating people to reach financial services. As you already know, innovation advises us to think in different ways. We basically in Istanbul, as Albaraka Türk, as in CIBAFI Ventures, we believe that there are tons of different ways, but the COVID-19 pandemic has brought a new way of thinking to our minds. What if all people locked at home, trying to having financial services? And fintech products is the answer. Actually, we believe like that. So while starting from the pandemic, we started to think in a way, and we believe the sector also started to think in a way, if the world is being created with many technological possibilities, again, in our hands, what if we could design all financial services and end-to-end products with new technologies? So from customer acquisition process to new way of marketing, digital marketing, from product development process to customer and complaint management process. We have all realized once again how technological developments have actually made our lives easier in all aspects. While redesigning financial products and services, we also had to reshape the delivery of these products and services to customers and end user and the all participants of the society. Example, for giving examples, we are talking about branchless banking models. Actually, they have developed considerably in the last decades, and we are now talking about hundreds of digital banks competing each other, especially in Europe. And Islamic finance, Islamic digital banks has catch up this competitivity. So we believe that this pandemic has fasten our financial and services, Islamic financial services, to compete in the conventional banking sector. We also have become increasingly familiar with e-money and cryptocurrencies. Those affected people, more than influencing people's view of digital financial services, people are almost dizzy with the recent developments, actually. Digital banking, open banking, payment systems, collections, crowdfunding, blockchain, etc. These technological developments expedite the transaction in many different sectors, as some of the panel speakers has mentioned about the sectors. Especially in financial sector, technology not only make easier the processes, also put a new security layers on the financial transaction to secure people's and corporates' investments. In Turkey and Europe, we are trying to develop our financial technology products, and we are trying to develop a financial ecosystem via our competitive. Lastly, I use the words competition and cooperation. We put words together, and we are working competition words in Turkey, actually, via our both Islamic finance institution to create more value, to tell our difference and our especially not the difference, our nature of the Islamic finance natures to all participants of the financial ecosystem. We put the people's feelings in the center of, we are all humankind, not Muslim, not non-Muslim. There are many of religion, as you know. So in the center, we are all humankind, and the Islam put the essence of the nature of Islam in the center. So we believe that the financial technologies, with a perspective to feeling all humankind what they need, what they have in their hands. Although we have cultural differences as people living on the same planet, we have the same nature in terms of access to financial products and services and sustainability. That's why we think that it's very important to provide equal services to people and digitalized world, in the digitalized world, regardless of the country or region, with the same quality and the same human feelings. So our perspective, our thoughts, our feelings in this sector, with a different way of thinking actually here, because we approach this discussion in a different way, maybe emotionally, but as many of the panel speakers here in the field, we are also in the field to touch end users, customers, and we are speaking with them, and we feel their feelings. So we developed our ideas via their feelings. From a technology and digitalization perspective, recent developments actually give us hope in terms of sustainability, resilience, and accessibility to all financial services. As Dr. Bridget mentioned, those impact will be on the layers of society around the world, not just for Muslim people, actually. On the other hand, as Mr. Iyad mentioned about some Islamic finance terms and notions, I couldn't remember the exact words, but those terms, Islamic finance terms, actually nature of Islam, so nature of being, well-being. So now technology is now able to put those terms and notions, concepts, and their benefits to all society. For now, for start, my thoughts are like that, but just a quick close-up. We are actually able to do this. We believe that, but we think we need strong collaborations in which all stakeholders will be involved in some way. As I mentioned, competition frequently. we use the words, more patient and we need to be more patient and determined to persuade people and stakeholders to produce together, come together. Also, it's very important for creating ecosystem of fintech, digitalization, and fintech sector and digitalization of financial institution. Thank you so much, and I'll expect your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hasan, for sharing these very interesting insights. And I believe what you have highlighted here goes very much in line with the opinion of Mr. Gonzalo. Indeed, there is a huge potential for Islamic finance industry to leverage on the offering opportunities like fintech, as they have rightly mentioned, that can help Islamic financial institutions to grow and increase or expand their customer base to attract new customers in the Mediterranean region. But here I want to ask you about the challenges in specific when we talk about fintech, and also if you can highlight on Islamic fintech, like when you say that you are promoting fintech in the region. So are you facing any challenges in particular to Islamic fintech?
Question to me. Sorry, I missed that.
Yes, yeah. That is for you.
Yeah, of course. To give an example, actually, there is a payment method, especially only used in Turkey. Promissory notes. Maybe you know that. We use promissory notes as a payment method in Turkey. You sign a document on a paper, especially it's very historical payment method, but in Turkey we use it for the last maybe 100 years. You sign a document and you put your debt on the paper. You give that paper to your debt owner. This is this is processed in papers. While we try to digitalize this process, we are mainly conflict with 8 different Turkish regulations, 8 different laws. So when we went to authority of Turkish Trade Ministry, they obliged us to offer our new regulatory. They give us a homework to write the regulation of this process. So we are trying to digitalize this process for 3 years, but actually the technological developments has the minimum part of this improvement. We have only spent 3 or 4 months to accelerate the business, but we are facing actually difficulties in persuading the Minister of Trade and Turkish authorities for 2 years, more than technological development process. So this is an example for us to challenge with Turkish authority and other authorities. In Europe also we have some challenges to convince the Belgium authority, German authority, to accelerate our business and services, waiting to customers waiting for us. These are the examples, actually.
Thank you, Mr. Hasan, for providing us all these insights and examples. So now actually I want to ask Dr. Bridget to